I'll come back. 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 I'll come back.
Hello, and welcome to the Barcast, where everything's just fucking awful this week. Enigma's homeless, Milk's homeless,
Great intro.
Rab's homeless, so it's just us here. Your bartenders for this evening will be a non-present.
Fucking everything is awful.
Flaming
I love
Shank.
you guys too. Wow, that was a great.
We're talking about our lives here, man. Our lives.
Okay. Yeah, those are probably objectively awful. I mean, I don't know. I've only known you for very short periods of time, but impressing you for
We already know that you're too good for us.
That's true. It's true. It's true.
Snidely goes back to his mature rated horse words.
Flam and I introduced you. Did you say Yales? Okay, cool. And then we have Rab Present Lids here with us tonight.
I can vouch. He actually is terrible.
And my name's Flutter Present. Also, happy Krampusnacht, because I needed to figure out a holiday because we're all present themed this week. So,
We're just Krampusnacht. There we go.
this week, just like every other week, we have a very special guest because we're wasting a lot of time this week, apparently. We have Justice3442.
I mean, you could call me Justice on the chat and stuff.
Well, I plan to. I mean, it's just ice, right?
Only my parents use my full name. When they're angry at me.
Mr. 3442 is my father.
Just Ice 3442. You come in here right now.
That's
Fuck.
I'm sorry. Was I poning the noobs too hard, Father, or was I not poning them hard enough?
For those who haven't tuned into the Barcast before, we are an all-user-submitted pony podcast where you suggest the guest, and then we talk to the guest and get them on, and then you ask them questions for 2 hours, and we make them miserable. This week, just like every other week, we have a drinking word, and Justice has chosen readers. Readers will be our drinking word for this week. So whenever we talk about all of our readers and our fans, go ahead and give it a drink.
Please drink. It's that kind of week.
Of course, we also are streaming live on Twitch right now. So, if you have any additional questions for our guests, go ahead and post them in the chat. And the lovely Anon Pencil will moderate those questions and possibly throw them at our guest. But what is an example of a question that you won't ask our guest?
Have you accepted the Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior, into your heart? If you ask me that, I'm just going to ban you from the chat. That's all.
It's happened.
I have. Don't do it! I'm too tired for this shit. If you fuck with me today, I will not hesitate to throw you out so fast your head won't even spin because it'll be stuck too far up your anus for you to see anything but your colon. So listen to me when I say this. Don't fuck with me today.
Have you heard the tragic tale of Darth Krampus the Vile?
I would think if someone's ass was shoved into their butt was shoved. God damn! Wow, that's a great start. All right. I would think if someone's head was shoved into their
What's
ass,
your fucking language?
be able to be thrown quite more easily. Maybe rounder at least.
That was my thinking. You could stuff that in there and just toss it like a basketball.
There you go.
Oh, this gin is garbage. Okay, let's go straight in. Let's go.
No. Okay.
Well, what's up?
You're drinking gin? What gin? Gin are you
Bombay
drinking?
Sapphire.
Oh, excuse
Yes.
me. Garbage. That's it's like the second best stuff out there.
It's vapor infused. It's the blue bottle. I wish I had some tonic to mix it with, because right now I'm just drinking it straight. It's not good.
Better.
So
I like brokers.
Literally anything is better than that. Just saying. Anything is better than gin. That's all. Anyway, we need to ask questions here because we're doing real things today.
readers. Justice.
Thank you.
Let's start with some actual interview questions. Who are you, and what have you done for the fandom?
Well, as you can see, my name's right there, and that's my name that's associated with pretty much everything on the fandom. It used to be 42, 43, and then I just felt fancy one time and decided to rearrange my numbers just to fuck with people. And because I thought it would be great if people just asked me, for the next several months, why did you change your numbers? I don't know. It's important. Not really important. I write horse words. I've been writing horse words for the last, I think, 4 years now. Got my start with the Wheel and the Butterfly Saga. So people who remember Danvers from the Hub, TV rest its soul, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Both the Hub and kind of Danvers. That was a show that aired, around the same time as Ponies was first airing. The Hub used to actually ship Dan and Pinkie Pie, and for some reason that struck some weird nerd chord in me to I need to see more of this ship. And then when I found out that people weren't, there were almost no fan fictions of it, and the fanfics that out there were not all that great. At least did not meet my high standards, so I decided to be the change I wanted in the world.
Mm. So you're saying that some fan fiction can be bad?
Yeah.
Oh. Shit, man.
I think, don't we have an Astoria approver here?
Huh.
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, which is great because I could just be like, yeah, you breed some stuff that maybe doesn't meet fan fiction's high standards. It's hard to say. Why don't you go back to fanfiction.net? But you managed to prevent that angst and.
High standards. That's funny.
If you're spelling high standards the same way you'd say that you're high on pot, maybe. But honestly,
yeah, because it's not spelled. It's not
any
totally
differently.
spelled different. Totally.
Yeah, totally differently every way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, let's move on to the next question. How did you personally get into the fandom?
A little bit before when I really got is when I started writing, and then I was kind of stuck and doing all of watching the fan art and listening to comments, keeping on. I think I got started shortly, maybe the first season was maybe not quite halfway into the first season, and I was just on a forum that I'm no longer part of with a bunch of nerds. Some of them got into ponies, and I was like, all right, you guys keep on going on about the ponies, and I do enjoy my cartoon, so maybe it's good. And then I started watching it, and they did the whole symbolism with Luna and Celestia and the kind of the yin yang tai chi sort of thing, and I'm like, oh no, I'm in trouble. This might be my jam. And I just kind of kept on keeping on with the ponies until the aforementioned they got sucked into fan fiction writing, and I've been here ever since, unable to.
I have an interesting question. This is off from the normal set of questions that we usually do.
Sure.
But since you had a set of friends that kind of got you into the show, are your said friends still into the show as much as you are now?
I don't believe so, and they're not really actually my friends. I mean, just kind of as we grow up and drift apart, and I'm sure there's some sad violin music playing somewhere. But I've kind of moved on to different communities. I think they fell out of interest in the show after, during I don't know if there's a big exodus around season 3, but we all I'm sure all of us know that season 3 was not the best season. It was, in fact, kind of objectively the worst season so far. And then some people, when Equestria Girls were coming out, were hailing it as the end of Western civilization, because, of course, that's how we're all going to go out. A cartoon about horses that teach friendship is going to try to sell teenage dolls, and then that's just all society will collapse immediately after that. But they got out of the fandom after that, and I didn't. I got just deeper into the fandom and found other people who were more into the fandom, either who liked my stories or who, like to do art and stuff, and just kind of started hanging out with them as far as, my internet pony presence is concerned.
Aw. Well, you're always welcome here as our internet buddy presence.
Thank you.
I'm still not over the fact that you said Exodus.
Well, I mean, Exodius, obliterate.
It's really important that we put the proper emphasis on words. So.
It's Leviosa.
Not Leviosa!
Anyway.
So, Justice, what is your favorite part of the fandom? The online community, fanfics, cons, music?
I mean, it's kind of a very general way to say, I guess, the online community, I would say. It's kind of a general way of saying everything, but just the fandom, bronies produce a lot of stuff, and they're actually, I know people kind of like to pretend that bronies are like a terrible fandom, but it's like, bronies are like a pretty good fandom from my point of view. They're, pretty... There's certain hot button topics. I mean, if you're going to discuss, Starlight Glimmer on a Derpy Baru, prepare to run out of that thread, or to watch as you set off the fireworks, or some lengthy discussions that maybe you didn't want to have. But I mean, that's a very specific sort of example, and like generally the fandom's pretty accepting of people, where it's kind of supposed to be that sort of outcast thing, and just pony fandom is still producing such great, even almost show quality videos and art, and it's still kind of an evolving fandom, and I think that's really cool.
All right. Next question is, if there's one thing that you could say to your followers or fans or your haters, what would it be?
Thanks for reading my stuff, guys. I think readers was there, and then I just did it again to confirm it.
Thank you.
But thank you for following my stuff, for leaving your comments or leaving your upvotes. Maybe not so much leaving the downvotes, but I can't really do much for those. It's it keeps me going. I don't think I would do this just in a vacuum. And people's kind of comments keep me going, as well as their suggestions and stuff. So yeah, it's just kind of been great to have the support, and it's definitely improved my writing in general, not just in terms for horse words, but just it's weird. I could actually my emails at work are much better because of all of this, and I think I'm starting to get into the blog scene a little bit more, and I think that's going pretty. Yeah, just thanks for being there, and thanks for being involved, and your upvotes and your comments, and I appreciate all of it.
Wonderful. And
Hold
now
on. I have something important that we need to do, because I realized something, and I'm going to do something we haven't done in a while, Priest. I'm going to flex the power of the Barcast.
Okay.
Hey, Barcast! You might notice that Justice has a very interesting follower account that is very close to a large milestone. So we need to fix this. So you will see a link. You guys know what the fuck to do, because this is how we do this. Well, this is what we do. You don't understand. There have been times where we have forced stories into the featured box that had no right being there. This is what we do. I have faith in you guys.
Why, thank you. Yeah, I have I have some new stories that are going to come out soon, but nothing that desperately needs love right at the moment. But yeah, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely am a few numbers off.
Hold on. Now give yourself a refresh.
Okay. Oh my.
This is what we do!
Less than a minute.
Milestone milestone hit for sure.
This is
So-
this is why I'm proud of you guys. Thank you, viewers. To all you readers, I'm proud of you guys. Thank you.
So I'm going to rephrase the question. Now that you've hit 2,000 followers on Fanfiction,
Okay.
what would you say to your followers or fans?
Wow, thanks, but I kind of hit the big league, so thanks to the little people, I guess, for getting me this far, and but mostly I'd like to thank myself. No, I really appreciate it, and again, just keep reading my stuff, keep commenting, keep doing what you do, and just kind of, if you like my stuff, let me know. And yeah, I will keep on keeping on. If there's something you want to see, let me know. If it's something I want to blog about, I have the Patreon thing where people can pay me to blog about kind of the topic of their choice within reason and within my ability to kind of have enough information to blog about it. So,
This is also a new record for us. That took us 8 seconds. Good job, everyone. I'm proud of you. That's all.
Also, let's go to our final actual interview question before we unleash the hounds of our chat and our normal
Taking
viewers.
way too long because we're shit posting.
It is.
that's okay.
We're gonna cut the bullshit. We're gonna get straight to some fucking politics, not actual politics, because we have rules against that. But it's time for you to ruin some lives.
Okay.
Who is best pony?
Oh, okay. That's easy. Sunset Shimmer is best pony and best human. I'm sorry, ponies. She's just that good, and you've got to deal with it. It was Rarity for me for the longest time, because I kind of dig the fact that she's had a career, and it is probably that attracted me to the show, is that the ponies had lives and responsibilities and stuff, and I could identify to that. So yeah, probably Sunset, Rarity, and then Pinky. Pinky has to finish in the money because she's kind of my bread and butter. So those three in that order.
Wonderful. All right, now let's go to the users. Let's go to the questions, and starting out, we're going immediately to the big leagues. You've been called out by Short Skirts and Explosions.
Yeah, I saw this one. Go on.
Here we go. What doth life?
It's one of the great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? I mean, are we the product of some cosmic coincidence? Or is there really a God watching everything? With a plan for us and stuff. I don't know, man. But it keeps me up at night.
That's red versus blue, the very first.
I did meet the reference with a different reference of my choice, but I did get the reference that was tossed in my direction, and I have watched a few episodes.
Wonderful.
For L.
Okay, and then now we have a question from Tumer that says,
Gasp.
Yes.
That's it.
All right.
Oh, it just says gasp. Okay. This is like a fluffle puff thing, I guess. I will prepare my face for licking.
Okay.
Joke's on you. My face is always prepared to be licked.
Now we're going to questions from Sunbro for Life, who starts by asking, what's your favorite video game?
I was trying to think of what my all-time favorite video game would be. Probably, like, I don't know, Phantasy Star 4 would probably be a good one. I mean, I was just kind of reaching back there a lot. I just, as horse words have consumed my life, video games have occupied quite a bit less. Or another good one would be a TIE Fighter Collector CD-ROM, another nice one back from my childhood.
All right. Number 2. What's your favorite boss fight?
So, I think my favorite boss fight, at least just personally from me, was Kefka from Final Fantasy VI, because that is one I just I kind of took the Final Fantasy series one at a time in order. And that was one of the most epic fights I think I had was with with my crew and Shadow throwing the imp spears, which is, unless you know Final Fantasy 6, I probably sound insane, but if you didn't figure that out already, I can't help you.
No, that's just gamers things.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say that one's my kind of my favorite for personal reasons. I don't know if it's the best boss fight ever, but I mean, also Sans from Undertale is
Oh my god! Yeah, I need to finish that.
My editor has completed that in front of me for my own amusement.
Jesus.
And, he put some work into that on account of that it requires work to actually do that. And turn yourself into some sort of eyeball to fingertips machine to get the hearts to move where you need them.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 3. Have you accepted Skeletor, the master of the universe, into your heart?
Okay, so I don't think Skeletor has a heart. So I feel there's some chicanery going on here, some shenanigans. I mean, maybe it's my my tibia or some very large bone. I've accepted Skeletor, but I don't. He's about the skeleton. Why would I accept someone to skeleton my heart? That actually sounds somewhat blasphemous. And on behalf of Skeletorians everywhere, I am mildly offended.
Wow, rude. All right, number 4. You are in itty bitty Equin City. What business do you start?
Let's see. I think my cutie mark would probably involve mostly telling ponies just to knock it off. So probably one where I recognize where ponies are doing stupid, and then tell them to knock it off. Maybe with a newspaper. I'm sure I could make one of it.
A constable, maybe.
Some like yes, a police who collect bits from the people paper asses. Some might call that.
You need to knock that shit off right now. That'll be 20
Someone might call it mugging, but I like to call it. To call it justice. Justice's service of delivering justice to.
You're the meter maid of life.
That's right.
See, I'm just hearing all this, and this is all just like eerily 3 steps away from being a job where all you do is like shame people, and that's a fetish.
I'm sure that's a fetish. That's definitely better.
Do you? If any of you watched the Chappelle Show, do you remember the skit? Do you remember the skit, The Time Haters, where they would go back in time and just hate on people in history? That's what you are. You're just a professional hater, and you're gonna go around.
Some people need to be hated on, especially in Ponyland. Ponies, I think, more than people. Well, I mean, given the current climate, man, who's to say? But ponies seem to be a fickle and forgetful bunch. So maybe occasionally Twilight Sparkle needs to be told. It's like, hey, your friend is going to die and turn into a murder tree. Maybe sleep's not quite as important as you make it out to be.
Yeah, I can see
You
that.
tell them not to shit on the floor.
They seem to keep it clean there, but I just have what the TV shows me to go off of.
Designated.
Shitting
I have a
streets.
street designated just for shitting. That might work.
Wow.
All right, number 5.
Yes.
I need to know for a friend, how much rice should I carry if you plan to encounter a vampire?
How much rice? It depends on.
Oh my god.
This is one of those questions that. I mean, they're looking for a good rule of thumb, but I mean, it really depends. Are you trying to just run away from the vampire? I mean, like, you might need an entire bag if you're trying to just I need to get out of the country before this vampire, finishes up with this rice. Or maybe you just need a Ziploc bag if I need to get away from this vampire to go, get my crossbow and holy water and ruin this vampire's day who made me just waste all this rice. So, I mean, kind of figure out how comfortable you are with vampires. Or, I mean, you probably, if you have some pamphlets, maybe, for the Order of Skeletor or something. I mean, you might only need a handful, just long enough for the vampire to either to listen to your spiel about Skeletor or run screaming away. So you kind of have to figure out how much. What's your interaction with this vampire going to be, or all vampires, perhaps?
I have an answer.
Go on.
I have a very simple answer.
Go for it.
All you need is a single grain of rice. Because, after all, if you want to encounter vampires, all you need is Anne Rice.
But,
Doubt many people will get that, and that's fine, and I don't care. I'm done now. You can move on.
Next question.
You made all of the Anne Rice readers very happy.
I hope I made them sad. Sorry. It's okay.
Number 6.
Anne Rice readers are always sad.
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
Probably underneath Waldo.
Oh.
Gross. I don't like this. I don't like this visual image you've given me. I don't like this.
I like this image. Moving on. Number 7. Do you even praise, bro?
Given the source of that, I'm assuming that's the sun, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with if writing Celestia counts, then yes, totally. If actually going outside when the sun is rising or doing its thing, not so much, because times in the AM before 8 are just the worst. They're just forsaken by all of the deities, all of them.
All right. Now we're going to go to questions from Chat Penguin Lips. Hey, Chat, are you here?
I am.
Why don't you start by reading that first line?
You want me to read? Oh, right. I'm so disappointed I couldn't make this cast. I was so excited for it, and family plans came up at the last minute. Well, they did.
That's okay, Penguin. It's I know you so well. It's like I can hear your voice now. It's like you're present.
Yeah, almost.
Do you want to take your own questions, man?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay. Why did you start writing in the first place, for MLP and in general?
Both of these, as I think I read this question earlier, and that's what kind of prompts me to go into the whole spiel about the wheel and the butterfly, my gigantic, not as giant as some epics, but my big, and still unfinished, Dan X, Pinkie Pie, Shipfic, extravaganza, crazy thing. And just, I saw that I decided to fill for myself, mostly because I had spent so much time thinking about this, and it's like, oh god, I have like an entire story worth of stuff in my head that I guess I will try writing it down. And then I tried publishing it, and then people kept on encouraging me. So, I mean, this is really other people's fault, not my own.
Of course.
And I just kept on writing it until I got most of the stuff that I had really thought of, I suppose, out. I mean, there's more. That story is not done. People are probably wondering, when are you going to write more? And it's just like, well, I don't have every single aspect of, their lives on lockdown. So sometimes chapters take a while, but I know what a lot that's going to come still looks like. So, I got that out, and then more ideas came to me as I kind of got a better, understanding of these characters, and I started watching more, and then of course, I think the next big character that I started writing a lot for was Sunset Shimmer. Actually, after the first Equestria Girls, even before Rainbow Rocks, even before she was everyone's perfect little waifu, I was like, I could do something with this character. So I started that story, and then Rainbow Rocks hit, and then of course, the Dazzlings came, and then it's just all it's just all completely out of control at this point. There's just all of these characters clamoring for my attention, demanding to be written. I mean, the movie came out, and there's a bunch of stuff for those characters that some of it I have written, a lot of it I have written, but not finished and had edited and publicized. So it's just, I'm just stuck in Horseword land for a while, for the foreseeable future.
And there's nothing wrong with that. All right. What is your favorite franchise outside of MLP?
So, Star Wars would be my oldest and most beloved franchise. One that I have never really had a falling out with. I guess I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I was a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fanboy.
How could you? How could you?
Okay, this was the 90s, and there were a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog. This was,
It's no use.
It's no fucking use!
This was before all that. This was like the Sega Genesis days where, we had our big beef with Nintendo, and you had to like one or the other, or you were a heretic, and there were great console wars and purges, and just middle school campuses just littered with children's corpses from, for the victors and all that sort of stuff. So like I was back in it, and when like IRC channel and all of that nonsense. And even like the Archie comic for a while, but eventually I kind of grew out of it just because I grew out of it, and of course I eventually took ponies because that's a sensible thing for a older, more mature person to get into. But Star Wars has been my kind of oldest and truest fandom love. Around my room now, I still have posters up, a few figures, all that lovely stuff. I mean, I even started it took me quite some time, but started a Star Wars My Little Pony crossover. That's what I have big plans for. I just need to, find time amidst all of the other horse words I'm on with them.
Oh, Pencil and Flamin did one too. It's pretty great.
Which one?
How could you forget? Flam, you and I did a Star Wars story together.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did that.
It was very steamy. It was seriously Palpatine fucks Fluttershy. I'm not lying.
I mean, I didn't write.
It is voice.
Yes, do it, my little pony. Do it.
No. Go ahead, Flam. Go ahead.
What am I saying?
You'd like you can
Do it.
Anything.
I can respond.
Have you heard the tragic tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No, Palpatine. Would you like to tell me more about it?
Good.
We did this. There is a recording of this.
That's excellent.
It was excellent. You're right. Anyway.
Oh.
No,
Sexcellent? Wow!
brief aside, since you got me talking about it, the whole Star Wars pony thing I have up was actually originally a comedy that I wrote. I'm like, oh god, I know so much about this, I should make it a serious action. But I did, for whatever reason, decide that Palpatine thought Fluttershy was best pony. So, just completely independent of anything that happened here. So, yeah, it's just natural that that the dark evil emperor of the entire galaxy needs a little more stability and a little more kindness, I think.
There's no shortage of crossovers with Star Wars and the pony fandom, but very few actually do it really, really well. And when you do the crossover really, really well with Star Wars, it actually has a plethora of like excellent story potential. Like one story that I want to see, which I was almost close to creating myself, but zero time to do my normal projects. What I would love to see is someone do like Kreia from Knights of the Old Republic 2 and Ponyland and see how that would work out.
Oh my god.
Like Like she's like Twilight's mentor or some shit.
Yes. I would love that. She was such a horrifying, evil bitch, and I loved every second of her existence.
Well, she was a very Machiavellian character who was done so well, arguably one of the best female characters in all of gaming. And if someone can actually pull off her personality in writing, they would have a fan for life.
I want it, but that does sound amazing.
I've noted that. I have no spoilers. I have certainly considered aspects of Darth Nihilus and such when I started penning. Like I decided to start right in the middle because of course, at episode 4, everyone's gonna be super confused. It's like, what the hell happened in your story that you're not telling me? Episodes 1 through 3 happened, I guess, and I just Tempest was kind of the inspiration. And I just let's start with her. So episode 4, and we'll get to all the craziness as I get to it.
Right. I actually have a story upcoming that I kind of announced. It's another Metroid story, and what a lot of people don't realize is to make it work as well as I intended to and right the wrongs of my original Metroid Echo story is going to be much darker in tone. And I'm actually borrowing a few ideas from the Star Wars universe that would actually fit really, really well. With the whole, magic and shit like that.
I know we're like off on a complete tangent.
We definitely.
No, it's cool. Like Flam and Justice OTP.
You motherfucker.
That's true.
But like one of the great things about the Star Wars in general is people don't really question is like, you guys, like the Star Wars universe is just kind of incredibly dark without really being. It's not like Warhammer 40k where it's like it's the darkness, my darkness. Oh, the Emperor has to sacrifice 1,000 mutant babies to live. Sort of like. No, that shit just happens every day in Star Wars, and no one has the time to deal with it because they're too busy getting shot at. Because
dark also has different meanings depending on who you talk to. Yeah. I mean, dark doesn't have to be automatically like something like that. Yeah, babies being sacrificed and shit. A dark theme is just something that kind of really strikes you when you read it. You're like, holy shit, that's actually kind of fucking dark. Like. So I think I just all feel it's dependent on who you're talking to. Like I've written dark fics before, but they wouldn't be like historically dark fics. Whatever, I'm rambling.
It's okay.
It's all good, boyo. But let's get back to the questions.
Yes.
What story of yours are you most proud of, Justice?
I think it would still have to be The Wheel and the Butterfly. Because that's the kind of the story I wanted to tell, and it's super long, and that was a hard-fought battle. That was the one that kind of got me to where I am now. Like just chapter after chapter, sometimes maybe 3 or more times a week, from just some nothing person on film fiction until that finally found its audience. And Dan and Pinky is still kind of my OTP, and that's the longest, the one I put the most work into, and I plan to put in a heck of a lot more work into it. So
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Speaking of Dan X Pinky, what would you do for some Dan X Pinky porn?
That's not one of your questions.
It was totally one of his questions. Hopefully, like one of my readers will present me with some. Although I have decided that kind of like I at some point I might be willing to commission an artist I really like. It kind of just dawned on me that like Pai Sama does commissions, and I was like, I like her artwork, and it's cute, and she can do sexy as well. So maybe sometime I will bug her if no one else is just like here. And it's like, well, fuck, I have this thing. I guess I should, write Clop for these two. And then I'm writing it for Adagio, and then everyone's happy, except for the people who don't want me to write Clop. But, turn off your mature, I guess. Or, yeah. I've seen all of those. I am very familiar with, yeah, that's the closest. So people, I don't think, can see this. Can people see this?
No, this is just for you, baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm very well aware of those, and yeah, that's the closest to porn someone's post is Dan Pony strangling Pony Pinky, like he's on her back. Maybe there's penetration going on. There's a lot of debate. You'd be surprised how much debate there is on this picture on Derby, on if she's being penetrated
honey,
or not.
I've got something for you. Don't worry. It's horrifying. But don't worry.
I know there's like there is some bad porn of them out there.
Yes.
It's not great. I'm well aware of that. He asked for just any porn. Like it has to be good. Hence why I mentioned Pai Sama. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
That's the problem.
Yes. Go on.
That's the issue. It's hard to find, good porn of things. So there you go.
It can be. Like I'm not saying like it has to be one of the best artists in the pony fandom, or why are you wasting time? But certainly better than what's going on. Like I actually consider this asphyxiation or accidental asphyxiation picture pretty good. Maybe not quite porn, but I'll just keep on hoping, or eventually I'll bite the bullet and buy it myself. But I don't know if I'll be inclined to gift everyone with suddenly Justice bites the bullet and you guys finally get popped.
Anyways.
Yeah, you could use the new cover art as on site.
Yeah,
Anyway.
If I get good cover art, I just have to crop.
Oh, don't bother cropping it. You'll be fine. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm sure 90 will just be like, oh, yeah, good job.
He'd appreciate it. Anyway.
Obviously.
Moving on. Since I wasn't anticipating being here, who's your favorite story approver?
Jack Ripper.
I mean, from who's the one I like to hang out with the most? It would be you, obviously, just because I don't really hang out with who's my favorite writer story approval would be Majin, and that's
Majin's amazing.
He kind of lucked out by becoming a story approver just recently.
Oh yeah, he's been doing a great job. Shout out to Seiko.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I'm still a little miffed at him. Just both release our own stories regarding the pumpkin spiced placenta, and he couldn't get to his, and I had mine done like the day after we discussed it. I'm like, I'm ready. And it's like, I guess I better start writing mine, and then eventually it's like, you're not doing this, are you?
We're horribly behind, but pumpkin spice placenta, what the fuck?
It was featured. I don't know what you guys want. I mean, I didn't think it would be featured. Honestly, like half the stuff I do, I just assume people will downvote into oblivion, and it never happens.
I feel you on that.
It's just like, everyone's gonna hate this, and like, I guess that was feature worthy. Okay, I don't know. I mean, just Button's mom has, she has to have the talk with her teenage son Gibson, and it's super awkward and apparently funny. If the ratings are anything to go by, so it's one of the more recent ones in my collection. I released it on Halloween for everyone's pleasure.
All right. Well,
my pleasure, I guess.
In that case, let's go back to some actual questions. We're going to Arcade Striker.
We're going fake questions.
Fake questions. Fuck you.
Wow, dick.
We're going to go to Arcade Striker JK5, who says, "What's your favorite non-related, non-MLP related?" Which we already did. Have you done anything non-MLP related?
I mean, as far as I did a way back, I did a Danverse story that had kind of a cameo from Pinky in it that exists on my mostly now ignored fanfiction.net. I'm kind of hoping Nighty gets up a generic fiction going so I could post it there. It did win a Danverse fan fiction story quite handily, competition quite handily. So that was kind of cool. But that's really been the only one and that was still sort of pony related. I mean, I'm most active on film fiction. I'm starting to do my blogging stuff. Patreon supported blogging on film fiction. So if you're following me on film fiction, except for that one Danvers story, which if you ask me about or look up Justice, it might be my old handle 4243 on film fiction. It'll fanfiction.net. It'll be there. I don't know, my DeviantArt or something.
All right. And then last but not least, from RK Striker, are you the final justice?
Am I the final justice? I've had a daughter, and I kind of do like grooming her in my image, and I kind of hope that she'll just keep on keeping on. I don't know if she'll be into horse words, but hopefully she'll be into, carry on my sort of generic disappointment, and just the general goings around, like, think Garnet from Steven Universe, and just that kind of expression where she just doesn't approve of the shenanigans she's seen, that sort of thing. So hopefully I'll have many generations of just, first day, a girl, my daughter, and then her. Hopefully she'll have spawn that will just continue just staring disapprovingly at people, and maybe occasionally taking to the internet or telling people to just knock it off.
Then we got Justice3442 clearly on the way. All right. Tony Montana now has questions. Is Justice actually blind?
No, it's people that are blind, but in a very metaphysical sense of it. Yeah, I don't know. I could maybe make this one funny, but I don't know if I can. Maybe.
It's all good, man.
I'll just drink enough to like pass out and hit my head on something. But
Jack of a few trades has questions. Do you or will you ever consider raining from above?
Raining? I kind of like. I would really cut into my ability to judge people for wrongdoing. I mean, if I'm raining, then to execute people for their wrongdoing. So I don't know. I don't know if that's kind of that's a lot of work. Kind of want people to solve their own things while I kind of glare at them and they get their shit together.
All right. Next question. How do the funny horse words?
So, I think the people, the various people, you know what? I'm gonna shout out because they deserve it. Nova Quill / Furry Mill. Nova Quill is her film fiction account. Furry Mill is FIRMILI, I believe, is her DeviantArt. Tired Old Man, who does letters from an irritated princess and Steel Resolve, all deserve this. They could all attest to this, but they all deserve cred for kind of proofing my stuff and helping me reading stuff. But horse words kind of just come to me. Like, I'll get like an idea that I think is good, and I'm like, oh god damn it, now I have to start another fanfic. Because believe it or not, I do try to kind of reel in the stuff I have, but I end up just starting project after project, or sometimes I will get a one shot done really quick, or sometimes I'm like, well, that's another ongoing. So expect more of that from me in the future, because I already have some stuff in the works that I just need some nice editing. And then there will be more horse words on the site. So for me, I guess it's just sort of, I spend a lot of time thinking of what these horses like to do, and when I have enough of an idea of that, I just sit down and start writing. And sometimes I will sit down and try to think of what they do if something's been sitting there for too long. But yeah, it's just you kind of have to concentrate on it and figure out what horse word idea are you passionate about that you communicate out to the screen and kind of roll with it.
All right. Is pie actually easy?
No. I mean, not the way I do it. I don't know anyone who, I'm not sure, I don't know how many people make pie. My favorite is a pumpkin, but not from a can, because, fuck that heresy. I actually get the sugar pumpkins and bake them in the oven and use a food process, condensed milk.
That's the good shit.
I actually grind my own nutmeg, use fresh ginger, all that sort of stuff. And, pie is work. I've yet to see a pie that is just like, I just combined these things and threw it in the oven and then out came a pie. That's no. So no, it's not.
All right. Not the Invisible Davis says placeholder.
Good job, Davis.
Do you want to make up my own question?
No, it's all good. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, one question. Go for it.
I mean, I like to think my pecs are impressive. I don't know, other people, might say otherwise, but I think they're wrong. So.
Well, fuck the haters.
That's right.
And now it's time.
It's time for questions with Vylon.
Violet now has questions. She's going easy on you. Tea or coffee?
She's nice to you. Holy fuck. Usually she asks about like fetuses and dripping skull mucus. Today she's just asking you about your beverage choice. God damn, you're lucky.
I mean, if she's asking me about my beverage choice and not asking me about skulls and dripping fetus juice, what are we even doing here?
We refreshed that, right? We refreshed the list, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I did.
But out of like tea and coffee, I think work has turned me into a coffee person because we actually have good coffee on there. At home, I'm much more likely to make tea for myself. I'm one of those people. If you guys all are familiar with Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, who has that sort of drawer just full of random teas that you've never heard of. I'm one of those people.
Been there.
Yeah.
So yeah, at work, coffee. At home, tea. I don't know if that's a cop out. If you you can only drink one from now and forever. Tea. There's a bit more variety there to my palate. Maybe some hardcore coffee drinker would disagree with me, but
no, you're right. You're spot on. You're correct. You win.
All right, now we're going to questions from Lieutenant Major Dude, who says, placeholder. What do you think of placeholders?
You couldn't throw me like a propane question? King of the Hill? No.
I know, right?
He deserves to be grilled for this one, and I deserve points for that pun. But yeah. Okay. What do I think of placeholders? I think you should have came up with a real fucking question, dude. Lieutenant Major Dude.
He asked questions. That was just what he said first.
Oh, okay.
All right. Would you eat? Yeah. Would you eat a buffalo wing if it was made from buffalo meat?
Yes.
Bison is delicious.
I've eaten buffalo meat. It's just they're not endangered anymore apparently, and we don't care to hunt them towards extinction. So buffalo. If it was like a wing that buffaloes actually use to fly, hell yeah, I'd just eat a ton of those until they pull like a Red Bull commercial or something like that. I would hope that's what would happen.
The North American bison is a tasty motherfucker. Just saying. That's all.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Any expectations for the upcoming season of Pwn?
I assume Starlight Glimmer will do something that'll annoy me, or more accurately, I assume the writers will treat Starlight Glimmer like I should love her unconditionally, and that will annoy me. Because I actually like Starlight the character. I just don't really like how she's presented to me in this series. So I assume I will be annoyed at some point. I do hope because we are getting our director back thanks to the movie, that they will tighten things up a bit. This might surprise everyone. I have strong opinions about the series because I still watch it. So I kind of actually expect the next series will be hopefully on par with 4 and 5 at least, back up there a bit, because I felt the last few were a little confused. Maybe we needed a better director in there who kind of knew what they were doing, and it seems like we're getting one. So my expectations, I suppose, in general, that it will be better than the last couple.
All right. Next question. What was the best episode, in your opinion, of Season 7? And the following do not count: Shadow Play, A Royal Problem, and The Perfect Pair.
Why don't those count? Why don't those count? Hold on.
I mean, that's silly. Let me, good thing I actually in front of my computer, because now I have to remember them. Obviously, A Perfect Pair would be, it's like, yeah, you just have every single episode memorized, of course, don't you? I'll just gonna eliminate the standouts. I actually really liked. So, what were the options that were cut out? Obviously,
Shadow Play, a Royal Problem, and The Perfect Pair.
Okay, first of all, Shadow Play doesn't deserve to be on there. I actually have some serious problems with Shadow Play. As obvious as the fanfic that I've done 2 chapters, and I'm just waiting editing on the 3rd chapter to get on. That was usually, if you see me do an entire fic on something that's somewhat a femfic, that means I didn't have a super great time. So let's just get that out where we could all see it. But eliminating the other 2, I actually really liked A Rock Solid Friendship, because I think that's partially. I'm not a huge Mod Pie fan. Pinkie Pie fan, and that was a fun time, and I think that was a really good use of Starlight Glimmer. That was the sort of things that's the use we should have seen of Starlight Glimmer last season, to kind of endear us to her without her sort of being on her face, like, she's just there, see her sort of integrate into her life, not just be like, wow, Glimmer. You know. I'm sure I'm irritating Starlight fans. Or we'll irritate Starlight fans, but...
You're welcome to do so. We do it all the time. It's fine.
Oh, good. Yeah. Sorry, Starlight fans. I mean, just... She'll get there, hopefully.
The next question is, how does this make you feel?
There's a picture.
Okay.
Behind the counter.
Okay. Oh, right, that one. That is one smoochable pony.
Yes! Next!
The other guy continues on by asking, is justice better served with the cold side of revenge?
I'm not going to tell everybody, so I'm assuming you're asking what are my personal preferences for serving justice. I like it hot off the grill, but there's something to be said for that kind of long, justice sous vide is that's when you take justice and you just kind of have it under, very hot water until it comes to temperature. It usually takes a few more hours, but that's a very great way to serve justice.
All right. And then, would you rather see your parents fuck every day for the rest of your life, or fuck them once?
Actually, this is...
Well, they're dead. One's dead.
And then they fuck.
So you have dead corpses.
The question remains.
One's dead. I'm sorry. One's dead. I misspoke.
Hold on. Question then. Watching one of your parents fuck a corpse for the rest of your life?
Would I like? Well, let's see. Would just if my mom's ashes are reconstituted into a corpse, and then my dad.
No! He comes into the pot. I'm sorry. I'm going to hell. I'm so sorry.
That's gonna become like some Soylent looking shit.
They're gonna have to sift those out of the ashes. Do that. I think I would go with watching my dad fuck the urn, I suppose, because I think I think after the first few times, I would just kind of get used to it and keep my eye up above waist level. And, it'd be a good bonding experience for me and my dad, a good opportunity every day to talk to my dad about what he's doing at, work and stuff. Is mom getting, is she easier or harder as your substance kind of calcifies into this hard yellow mass, or
one day you're gonna look down and he's gonna have his fingers in a certain orientation, and then you're fucked.
Oh. Okay. Oh, priest, it's time.
It's that halfway point.
Hold on. Hi, everybody. So you're watching the Barcast, and that's pretty cool of you. If you want to see more Barcast shit, you can go to the Barcast FinFic group. There is a link in the chat to the FinFic group. You can click it and join the FinFic group. If not, if you want to give us some money instead, that's fine. We don't use it to get drunk. We promise. Instead, we give it to horses. We give it to horses, actual horses. One is named Big Mac. He takes our money. He uses the money to get his host trimmed. You could give us money to give to the horses. It is wonderful. You should really do it. I'm crying.
He does
now.
not spend it on horse hookers and blow.
I can't. I'm done. I'm good now. That's my shit. I'm sorry. I can't do it today.
Moving on to
it
more.
It sounded like you did it. It's just, all right.
No, usually I just finish the song and I make up a song, and the end of the song is just here's the Barcast Patreon. Enjoy it. Join us. Give us money because it helps horses at Rescue Sanctuary. I'm done now.
Please help Big Mac buy hookers and blow.
Please help Big Mac, because there's actually a horse named Big Mac at Red Wings Horse Sanctuary, which is what, and we sponsor him, so he has money for food, etc., and he's well taken care of. He's a really old Clydesdale, and he's adorable. Yeah, we don't use it to do anything. And,
It's true. We're totally nonprofit.
To our knowledge, the horse does not spend the money on hookers and blow.
It's true.
He does not.
I think I would like the horse more.
He does not snort it off a clown's boner.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. I just did a blog post on the Joker, so I'm kind of on the fence on that. But I mean, if the horse spent it on hookers and blow, I might like the horse more. I don't know. That's just. I like adventurous horses.
To be fair, we did put it to a vote, and everyone chose Big Mac because, of course, they did.
Yeah,
I mean, if there wasn't any other pony-named horses, yeah, I'm sorry. Other real horses or non-pastel colored horses, I should say. You weren't gonna make it. Get some real names. Get some real names like Rainbow Dash. Rarity.
All right, I guess it's time for shouting because let's go back to the questions, and we're starting with Eagle.
Okay.
Shouting's coming.
I got one question for you, brother. What are you gonna do when these 24-inch pythons come for you?
With a yapapaya string, brother.
Sorry.
I will unfortunately have to go to the snake store to buy bigger pythons because just for the sake of one upmanship. Clearly, that's the logical choice.
All right. Now we're going to the band Brony, who says, "This one's for Justice! Not a meme question! Sorry! Do you ever get burned out on writing long-form stories like The Wheel and The Butterfly? What gets you inspired? And what do you do to keep yourself motivated?"
So I'm not really burnt out on any one of my fics. It's as I mentioned, it's just sort of what is my attention span? What have I been thinking a lot? Which story do I want to get done? And has someone blindsided me with an idea that I had never considered before? I'm like, oh, that's good fan fiction. I gotta write that down, and just kind of. So I mean, motivation is sort of a constant thing. Although, as I've mentioned, my followers, my readers, comments, favorites, not especially if favorites onto my newer stuff, followers and comments, especially kind of keep me going, kind of let me know that people are interested and stuff, and just kind of constantly coming up with ideas. What's the next thing I'm going to do? compliments actually work a little bit better than when are you going to this next? Because it's just one feels like, oh, I'm doing a good job, and the other one, all right. I mean, it's not like I haven't been producing stuff. Sorry, I haven't been producing the one thing. So, it's as I said, it's my readers who kind of keep me who are my motivation, and just their support is really helping. And I hope I answered all the parts of that question. If not, let me know if I didn't.
No, I think you nailed it. Let's go to questions now from Shakespeare Cleese, who has questions for Justice3442.
Good job.
Question number 1. What are you going to do to celebrate hitting 2,000 followers? Perhaps write your magnum opus?
I'm already writing my magnum opus. I don't know. It's hard to say. The Wheel might very well be that. It's not. I know it's the longest thing I have by far. It is not actually close to being. I am not close to being done with Dan and Pinky. So I just need to kind of keep on keeping on. And I mean, I've done a lot of other exciting things. I mean, I would say that I would celebrate by drinking, but I'm way ahead of that.
Yay!
Right now. I mean, I've kind of switched to a mixture of Evan Williams and this Jack Daniels Winter Jack Tennessee cider that I'm making palatable because of the Evan Williams. Sorry, Jack Daniels, you've done better. But that's cool. I tend not to announce it's like, hey, I hit 2,000, because that's a great way for your readers to play practical jokes on you and unfollow you for a few days because they think they're hilarious. So
you have to have 6 of them unfollow you at this point.
Well, that's probably not super unlikely. Usually, I think we had 2 or 3. So, but I'll just kind of keep on keeping what I'm doing, and it's great that I hit that, but I am not done yet by a long shot. So I don't know.
You gotta
hit question.
You gotta hit that top 50 on FimFic.
Yep, I have to hit that top 50, and then I have to hit that top 25, and then I have to have 50, especially just because there's a few derelict accounts in there that I'm a little incensed that this person who doesn't even write anymore is doing better than me. So, there's a few people on there that I don't feel bad, like, I'm gunning for that person, because they're not even in the fandom anymore, and I need to throw them down I need to throw their corpse out of their throne that they're in and sit in it and actually warm it up, because, Skeletor, as great as he is, his followers don't really provide a lot of heat. So, yeah.
All right. What do you hate more, pumpkin spice or placentas?
Like just on principle, like the idea. I mean, if we're talking like the idea, placentas are kind of necessary for babies, and I do have a daughter, so I mean, I'm in favor of placentas over pumpkin spice. I would rather drink a pumpkin spice latte than a placenta, or perhaps, I might drink a pumpkin spice placenta latte just to kind of live the dream. I mean, I brought that on myself, and I accept that. I've brought this horror into the world, and maybe I have to pay for it. But I think in general, placentas have done a lot more for the advancement of all of creation or mammal creation than pumpkin spice has.
All right. Next question. For the chapter titled
"Let the beard hit the floor, let the bells hit the floor, let the bastard hit the floor."
It was gonna happen. It was too late. We knew it was happening.
Yeah,
Was the sun screaming that?
The sun was, I think, just screaming because it was brought to life by Starlight Glimmer of all ponies. And I mean, if that's your creator, I think you just scream all the time, unless Sunset Shimmer yells at you, because her pain is perhaps even more infinite than yours. But That is a very funny connection that they made between the two fics that I didn't even see myself when I wrote that. So, good on them. Good on
All right. Number 4. What is your prediction for season 4 of Rick and Morty?
I just thinking about this. I am actually I don't know if they'll get to it season 4. Evil Morty seems to be in every other season thing so far, but they have focused on him. I'm kind of wondering if Evil Morty is Rick's original Morty, and that's why Rick knows that you don't want to be a Morty who goes evil or goes too out there. So that would be cool. I think if we're going to follow along in the kind of looking at stories with protagonists sort of objectively horribly people, this might. There's kind of two ways. Either Rick will realize that he himself needs to start to try to become a better person, like BoJack Horseman, who is both a horse and a person, did in his 4th season, or Rick will just kind of double down and hit rock bottom. In the next season, he'll realize he has to become better, because I do think there's a limit to how much sane, rational people, which, I don't want to make fun of Rick and Morty fans, but one of them traded a car for a packet of Szechuan sauce, which, so maybe there's a limit to what sane, rational people could watch, horrible characters do before we stop empathizing with them and start realizing that it's like, oh, this person is just not even fun to watch anymore. Terrible. So I'm hoping shift in Rick's character positively, but you know what? I could watch another season of him just kind of just torpedo down to the bottom of the ocean and start digging before he starts going back up.
All right. Number 5. Are there any stories or projects from the community that you are looking forward to?
Wow. I'm trying to think if there's any like very bad. I am sorry, everyone who writes stuff. I am very bad about following your stuff. So I just kind of like seeing the next big thing that I just didn't expect, or seeing what the video projects and stuff that come out. I'm not really following any specific producers and stuff, but I just kind of keep on watching Derby Brew, and people like to post things on, I see the occasional video of thing and I'm impressed, and I check the feature box and I occasionally see something and I'm impressed. I do like it when people just do something that I never expected. I'm going to actually go to my favorites really quick, but I like stories when people just kind of keep me guard. Like, I didn't even think to write a story. Someone did a story on Sven Gallup recently that I thought was really, really cool, just that they would do that. And I don't know. I like to be surprised by the fandom. So, no. There's nothing specifically I'm following, but I'm just kind of looking for the next big thing.
Sure, fair enough. All right. Now we're going to questions from Alex _, who starts by, first of all, presenting you with a complimentary Justice3442 emoji that was made for you. And then, of course, number 1, what is justice?
It sounds like a nonsense question, or maybe not. But I mean, I think kind of justice is sort of getting your due deserts, whether that's good or bad, and perhaps it is sort of a theme I like to carry into my, which is maybe why I pick on Glim Glam a little bit. But Glim Glam is also one of my favorite characters to write because she's so much fun, because she doesn't really understand the concept of morals, and she's like I could constantly pick on this pony, and she'll just constantly keep on doing wrong stuff. So I just kind of think it's the concept of you do good, you get good. You do bad stuff happens to you, and I got a lot of characters here to deliver a lot of good and bad too. And unless you're, unfortunate, unless you're one of the straight ponies in my stories or straight girls, depending on your definition of straight. But Twilight, Applejack, and Sunset Shimmer. Unfortunately, they don't deserve a lot of the stuff that happens to them. But someone's got to pay the price for comedy, and unfortunately, it's usually this way.
All right. When you order a Coke, do you get it with ice and lemon or just ice?
I usually just get it with ice. That would be kind of a cool power move. I don't think it's done as much over here in Oregon because we're gonna get fancy. It's gonna be our beer or kombucha or something. I usually just get it plain. But that sounds good. I should start doing that.
All right. Number 3. What's your funniest anecdote?
I was not prepared for this one.
God damn it.
I don't know. I'm trying to like something funny that's happened to me in real life.
Yeah.
That's why I do all of my stuff. That's why I do all my stuff online. Because stuff that happens to me in real life is just kind of tragic. I do have one that's kind of amusing. I don't know if it's my funniest, but it's the one that I like the most. Is that this past Halloween, I went with my roommate, a friend of mine, and my daughter to a haunted house that was crazy age inappropriate for my daughter. My daughter is 5, and this is one of the This is a light contact, which means they could touch you lightly, basically, and they try to freak you out, and they're covered in makeup and zombie and ghoul stuff, and their whole thing is trying to freak you out. So I'm running around. These people are jumping out, and they're trying to scare me. And you could jump scare me, but you can't really scare me unless I actually think I'm in an alternative dimension. So I'm laughing at these people because it's like, ha ha, good scare. And they're like, all right, we're gonna move on to the next person in line, which is my 5-year-old who they go down to try to scare. It's like, 5-year-old, easy time. Like, look at this idiot bring a 5-year-old, and they try to scare her, and she's just like, no, you're not a zombie, you're a stranger, go away. Like, every time. It doesn't matter if this person has like an eyeball falling out of their skull or something. Like this 5.5-year-old, she just has no F's to give for anyone. So, and they try my roommate, and he's just a stone wall. He's having fun, but internally. And then they go to my friend we brought with us, and she's just like, oh God, why? I've made a terrible mistake. And I liked her a lot more than that because she was funny to watch. She was just great because she got all the aggro, unfortunately, because she was the only one who would react, and that included a 5.5-year-old girl who just did not care if you had a hedge trimmer that you wanted to, spin off in her face. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm quite proud that my loin spawn just she does not have any F's to give just right away. It's a good attitude to have. It'd carry her far in life.
All right.
I got some laughs.
Number 4. How are you feeling festive yet?
I got a tiny tree. That's true. I live in an apartment, and sometimes I usually get a small tree. I don't do the full Christmas tree thing, but I like to get a small potted tree that I try to keep alive, and then I forget to water, and it eventually dies after a year or two, and I feel very bad. But my balcony, because there's construction on my apartment building, got taken away, and so I got this very tiny tree, and it doesn't have anything on it, but it's a step up from a Festivus pole, I guess. It's not just a pole; it's a a fir tree, sort of thing. But yeah. I mean, I'm drinking cider stuff. I kind of keep in the spirit of whatever is going on, just for funsies. And yeah, Christmas Christmas can be good fun. I just usually don't have the. I do have a Rick and Morty long-sleeved shirt that's very festive. That's Rick Sanchez wearing a Santa hat that says "Let's get riggedy riggedy wrecked," and I do break that out for holiday. Not with the family, but with the sort of friend family that's local, where I don't have to go anywhere for a while. So, I do in the time, and I think people, now that it's Thanksgiving's past, is a bit more acceptable. So yeah, I'm feeling decently festive. When you get to my age, Christmas sort of sneaks up on you, and you have children to remind you that you're supposed to care about these things.
All right. It looks like we got some Warriors in the chat, but we're going to move on to some questions from Not Enough Coffee, who says, hello, looks like we've got a fellow Oregonian?
Oregonian, yeah.
That's awful. Why would you say that? That's a terrible... That's like saying you're from Iowa, so Iowean.
I don't know. I mean, I know what this question is. It was the why is Oregon the best state?
Yes.
It is a good state. I don't know if it's the best. I mean, I find myself here, and I'm not unhappy. Just, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of all the hippies. We have a lot of hippies, which is just both good and bad. And, we got a great craft beer scene, which is, in fact, super good, aside from all of the IPAs. Washington is up there with all its hops doing its IPAs. Everyone else, here in Oregon, we need to chill out, get on the stouts in the porters. So I don't know. I mean, I've been up and down the West Coast, so I've been born in California, have family down there, and I was spent my formative years in Washington and lived there as an adult for a while. So I don't know. I guess I'd say Oregon is the third best state, but we got some things to be proud of. And we're on Portland's on the I-5, so that's still claimed to be one of the best states ever. Take that, all of the other states east of us. And so yeah, I mean, craft beer. Let's be happy about that. And but let's get less IPAs, please. I'm sure all of the brewers are on this podcast listening to me right now. So I'm telling you, all of you brewers, all of you Portland brewers, less IPAs, more dark beers.
It's true. All right, number 2. Out of all the stories you've written, which one has the most significance to you? Did we cover this one? I think
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
all right.
we have.
Let's move on then. Number 3. Have you ever been to a Shakespeare festival?
I have not. I know it's a thing here, and maybe I should get on that. I think I have had some friends that have invited me, and I can't remember why I couldn't make it. Maybe it was out with family or something. So I will certainly keep it in mind and give it a shot. I do like to do local things. I'm actually kind of hoping to bring my daughter to see the Krampus tomorrow, so she could tell the Krampus that she's not going to get in this bag. And maybe she'll slap it around a little bit because she just doesn't care that it's a demon, that it's Santa's personal demon for torturing children. Because again, she doesn't care. But I have not, and it's probably some sort of Oregon badge of living here that I have yet to earn. So I'll get on that.
You ought to do it.
All right, number 4. What authors do you look up to? And what I like about this is it doesn't mean film fiction. It can be any author.
Oh, yeah. It's a good thing I prepared for this one, so I don't have to, say, idiot. I actually he's not one of my favorite authors in terms of works, but I love how prolific Stephen King is. Just because, sometimes just the rapid fire, get stuff out, that is kind of key to happiness. You never know what one thing. You could spend a lot of time on something and put it out, and this is the best thing I've ever done. And people are like, yeah, all right, we'll get you into the popular box, and then you're super sad. So Stephen King, just because he just writes so much all the time. Neil Gaiman, I like from a world-building perspective. He's not necessarily one of my favorite novel writers, but he's one of my favorite world builders for certain, to the point where he is shaped not only my outlook on fiction, but just my outlook on life in general. Let's see, Christopher Moore, who did Lamb, The Gospel According to Biff, Chris Childhood Powell, and a bunch of other Conventional Demon Keep, his first one. He is hilarious. He is one of my just favorite authors ever. And just as a brief aside, just because I heard it on the radio, NPR, because I do occasionally listen to that while I'm driving. Apparently, Dickinson, although I'm not a huge obviously he's hugely. Of course, I know some of his work. He was poor. He was actually doing well off when he wrote A Christmas Tale, but he needed to make some money. And when
wait, do you mean Charles Dickens?
Yeah, Dickens.
Okay,
sorry.
you said Dickinson, and I'm like, did Emily Dickinson switch genders?
So when he did A Christmas Carol, it was quite hard up for money. His last thing didn't sell well. He needed it so he could kind of keep on living his lavish lifestyle. And he loved the story so much that he had written that he was like, okay, we're gonna make it a really expensive book that people might not be able to afford, and I will buy it for them because I want it to be beautiful and I want people to read it. I'm like, yeah, I can appreciate that. The sort of the important thing is people read what you put out and are influenced and feel something about it. So that smattering of writers. So let's go with that.
All right. And then, do you think sand is called sand because it's between the sea and the land?
Dude, that's super profound. And if that was intentional, whatever English person came up with that, we need to go back in time and give them all the medals. So I do now want to believe. I want to believe so hard.
And then last but not least, because Alex _ demanded a Vylon-esque question from Not Enough Coffee, would you rather eat the half-formed fetus of your soon-to-be brother inside your mother's womb, or cut off the vagina lips of your fiancé and wear them like a badge of honor?
Oh, fetus, easily. I'm going to need those vagina lips to put my dick in between, and I can't, that's going to get kind of gross if they're on my head. I'm just not that flexible.
That's true, because after he eats the fetus, he's gonna want to wash it out with something better. So
right, and then plus, hopefully my brother, some sort of half-formed mental deficient, because I'm assuming I'm gonna get their power and become all the better for establishing my number one, primo fetus.
This is true. Remember, kids, you wash down fetus with pussy lips.
Yeah.
See, I would have immediately went to a Merlot, but, I guess that's just not the case.
They could be a Merlot pussy lips.
Merlot pussy?
Hey, sometimes I get that color after a good beating. Anyway, so you move on.
Which kind of beating? If the answer isn't yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
You gotta hold a good amount of liquid in that hole, I'm sure. So, why not both?
It would be a Merlot pie, not a cream pie.
Fucking bend over for a second, honey. I need that flat.
Well, you wouldn't bend over. She'd just have to present herself. Lean back.
It's time to drink!
Fucking saucer.
Readers.
Okay.
Mobile Sam, how do you feel about sweet potato fries?
Sweet potato fries are awesome. I don't actually get enough of them in my life. There is a place here called Burgerville. That'll help establish my Oregon cred year round and stuff. And regular potato fries are a staple and quite good, but sweet potato fries, we need to get more of those as a nation and as people in general. We need to embrace this more.
All right. Sam the Anti-Ninja now has questions. What is in your mind the craziest story you've never wrote?
That is a good question because I write. Anyone who looks over my thing, I mean, the craziest one I have written, obviously, is the Assy McGee crossover with My Little Pony. So, what have I have not written that was crazier than that? That I'm just like, no. Part of the problem is I don't really commit these to. That's tough. I don't want to pass questions, and this one makes me uncomfortable. That's not that this one makes me uncomfortable. It's just that I don't commit. I think about them, and I'm just like, nah, that's too stupid, and then I kind of forget about it. So, shoot. Let's just move on for the sake of time. I'm kind of sad. I'm kind of sad that I can't come up with an answer to this, but it's just like if it meant that much to me, I would have made it work. So if it was so crazy that I'm like, it's like I wouldn't write something because it was too crazy. I wouldn't write it because I think it's like, nah, it's stupid. No one would like it. And considering some of the stuff that people still somehow like, they probably no one would like it. So.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Just because it's in front of me, and I might actually still get to it, I have considered, just for funsies, I did mention Lamb, the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's childhood pal. I have considered a crossover with that, but I think I could make it work. I just haven't gotten around to it. So, there you go. There's an answer. Yay. Yay me.
Moving on. What kind of justice are you? Poetic, karmic, social, so on?
Probably. As far as social justice, that's kind of a long road. So comic. It was comic justice. That was an option. Cosmic or comic.
Karmic. Karmic.
Probably karmic. Is usually the way that it goes about in my stories and in life. I'd like to think. Karmic is it's a more complicated. People kind of want to see their karma. They want to see their laser guarded karma. And I'm sorry, people. Sometimes karma is a long process that takes many lifetimes. So I'm gonna go with karma.
All right. Number 3. All your base art belong to us. You have no chance for survival. Make your time. What do, Captain?
I will start posting. I will start with responding with some Smash Mouth memes and just I'm gonna just find the most that is a good meme and it's from a fine vintage, but I will just overload them with memes until they don't want my base, until my base is so Shrekified they'll just oh god, everything smells like onion. You could have your base, and onions are delicious, so I can just lick my walls. Delicious sustenance.
All right. Let's see. In a deathmatch between all alicorns in your Sunset Shimmer is mad about everything storyline, who would win? Who would be the first to fall? And above everything else, would there be enough popcorn for the audience?
There's not enough popcorn for that so out of all of the alicorn, wow, this is gonna get dark because that includes Flurry. So we have an infant. We have Luna and Celestia, of course, Twilight and Cadence, and of course Sunset Shimmer. You know what? No, I think I have this. I am going to go with Twilight's going to try to just be like, no, we shouldn't be doing this, and probably Luna will just fucking stab her through the heart because she's just not caught on to the ways, and it's her she was too slow. Meanwhile, Sunset just sort of shouts down Cadence using her old teenage angst, and Cadence has flashbacks to the time. P.S. Just this total breakdown of the time when Sunset was a total bitch to her when they were teenagers together, and Flurry Heart, and then Sunset just has this sort of she has the BFG at that point, and she just annihilates the other princesses, and she raises Flurry Heart as her sort of, there could only be two, like Darth McFlurry, Darth McDonald's, whatever, and they have a long reign until eventually Flurry reaches her full potential and kills Sunset. So it's very sad. Sunset's, she's happy. This is what she wanted. This is what she expected. That's the way of the Sith. Flurry, there's probably some other alicorn at some point. I don't know. I'm sure Sunburst is the princess of books at that point, and there's maybe some other spawn around. But I think Flurry, in the long run, in the short run, Sunset will win and just take a Flurry as a protege, and then eventually Flurry will do as all do Sith do and take over.
Wonderful. Now then, we got about 20 minutes left, so we're going to try to push through some of these questions. We'll see what we can do.
Apparently,
Cuber Snuggles now has questions. I have finally come out of my self-made hole of not reinstalling Twitch just in time for my birthday, so that brings me to my first question. What'd you give me for my birthday?
Who are you?
Wonderful.
I got you confusion for your birthday.
3 minutes in Equestria. What do you do?
3 minutes and then I'm gone?
Yes.
Oh. I guess freak out because I only have 3 minutes, and I'm like, Pinkie Pie, you gotta throw me the best party you can, and however much time I have left is left up from that. So I guess just I party with Pinkie Pie until, I don't know, I die of a heart attack or I'm sucked back to the world where it's not full of Pinkie Pie parties. Like, why would you wish this horror on me? Question answer. Sheesh. Good thing I've already had her.
All right. How much?
Move on, please.
How much do you think you've improved in the last year?
Like writing wise?
Yes.
It's hard to quantify in terms of, like, I look back on my old stuff not because I actually tend to avoid rereading my old stuff, but people occasionally send me corrections that have been there for too long, and I go back. And I don't know how to quantify that. I'm better, certainly. I think the one thing I think I've always had dialogue down, but kind of I've definitely improved a bit on flow between characters, and kind of I don't like to do, like, I've heard some schools of thought that it's like, it looks better if you just have two characters talk and it's just line after line after line. It's like, no, I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what their expressions are. And I think I've gotten better about doing that, hopefully concisely, in a way that doesn't irritate people. And I guess if it's irritating, my readers aren't letting me know. So just prepare for more of the same, I guess. So I don't know how to quantify the question, but yeah, I do think I have gotten better as a writer, even in the last year. And like, it's never been about bringing that person, like a character's personality, whether they're a pony or a person, toward the forefront, or what they say. It's just kind of painting the scene and kind of keeping the flow going. I think I've gotten better in those last 2 months.
All right. Let's see. Is there any significance to the numbers in your name?
Kind of. And I do get this a bit. I mean, 42 is on the back end, and that's, of course, nerd. You guys, you got it. You're all nerds. You know what 42 means. I'm not going to explain it to anyone. 43 was for a while kind of a thing, because it was, I did think it was funny, because that was the number. I think it was possibly even in the Lord of the Rings movie specifically, during the battle. This is super, super nerdy answer, but Battle of Helm's Deep, Legolas killed 42 orcs. Gimli killed 43. So I had that kind of as a while as a sort of natural progression, and I eventually moved to 34. 43 is a sort of, I don't know, a number that means like know or challenge or something. Getting to weird sort of numenology stuff that means a lot to me and like nothing to anyone else. So yes, the numbers mean a lot to me, and I assume they will be mostly gibberish to anyone else, and that's fine. You guys could all just call me Justice.
All right. Next quick question. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Because the My Little Pony writers were doing a bad job of writing Starlight Glimmer on the other side.
Ha.
And hopefully he hoped Starlight Glimmer would be on the other side, but written better.
All right. Next question. Do you like puns?
I use them occasionally. Certain characters do. I make them if I could come up with one. I don't spend time, but if I come up with one, like, oh, that's quite clever, or if I do one accidentally, I call it out. So yeah, I mean they have folded into my life quite well, and I just kind of have to accept that. So sure.
All right. As long as you're having fun with it. Last but not least, if you could take back the time spent on answering these questions, would you?
No, I've had a blast. I don't know if they mean that questions or just in general. Been good times. As I said, I'm not one to sort of... anyone who shows interest in me or what I do is kind of what keeps me going. So, no, good times. If you took the time to write the questions, as inane as they were...
All right.
Yeah.
Now let's go to questions, which, explosions, my bad. Man, holy...
We weren't doing questions? Okay.
Man, this gin. Okay, so, the next...
It's a good gin. What's your problem?
The next couple posts of, questions, they're more of a first answer that comes to mind type deal.
Okay.
So let's go and start with, why?
Why not?
Okay, I've got an itch and it hurts like a son of a bitch, and if you solve it, I'll make you rich. What say you?
I will scratch your itch. I guess more information would be good.
Usually that question's about prostitution, but let's move on.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about.
Send nudes.
No, thank you.
Send crudes.
Check my story pick. Short story list. There's plenty on there already.
All right. Now we're going to Nobody Special, who has similar quick questions. Rock, paper, or scissors?
Scissors.
Tune in next week when we find out if you won. I am mad. Are you mad?
Not particularly at the moment, but I'm in a good at the moment as a the murky amber colored stuff around me is helping there.
All right. Should I trust you?
Yeah, I'm pretty trustworthy.
That remains to be seen.
I will either not talk to you, or I will say something that you can trust. It's usually one or the other.
And last but not least, can you pass me the salt?
I don't know where you are. The salt I have, and wherever the salt is near you, I wish I had the ability to peer to wherever you're at, because that sounds really cool. Even if my ability was only to pass people the salt or deny them salt, I wish I had that superpower. I do not.
All right. Now we have questions from Reap Spiders, who says to the Barcast, you don't have to worry about Caillou anymore. He's been dealt with. How dare you kill that cancer child?
No, thank fucking God. That kid had it coming. Next question.
Now we have a question from Uetol. Heavy drinking, yes or no?
I'm staring at the glass, and heavy drinking in moderation. Yes, I know that sounds like I'm contradicting myself. I'm not saying don't heavy drink. I'm saying, maybe only heavy drink once or twice a week or for special occasions. So drink irresponsibly, responsibly.
Wonderfully. All right. Brian Fiction now has a small list of questions for you. What is your favorite song from the show and song from the fandom?
Oh, that's a good question. I still really like Pinky Smile song from the show. That's just kind of the one that stands out the most. As far as a song from the fandom goes, that was actually just totally produced by the fandom. I still really like Rainbow Factory. I mean, it's probably thanks to the pony fandom that I'm into like dubstep and the sort of more electronic scene. So like the Living Tombstone stuff. Just keep on keeping on with the ponies and the I Hope You Die in a Fire, Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. So yeah, Smile Song from Pinky and Rainbow Factory.
All right. Who's your favorite non-pony? Oh wait, we covered that. Starlight, Sunset Shimmer, obviously.
How dare you? Yes, it's Sunset Shimmer, obviously. I mean, if you're talking about people who just don't have, like, we've never seen their pony form at all, and you want to include the Dazzlings on that, because I mean it'd be so easy to pick all of the Dazzlings and stuff because they kind of have a form anyways. Normal Norman is just, I just love the idea of the kind of the hapless guy. He gets a lot of he gets picked on a bit, but he's also been laid by all three Dazzlings in my stuff, so I don't feel too bad for him.
Hell yeah, that's not so bad at all. All right. What is changelings? Yay or nay?
Just in general, changeling?
Yes.
Just we're doing quick.
Yay! I mean, yay? Yeah, sure. Yay, changelings.
Awesome.
I have opinions if we go deeper down this rabbit hole, but yay, changelings.
All right. What Spike? Yay or nay?
Oh, Spike, yay. Anyone who's read... No, you're wrong. Spike is... no, you're all wrong. And you know what? People appreciate the work I do because Spike is still kind of the most underappreciated character in the show, and it's a good way to make people happy. It's like, I wrote a Spike fic, and like, God bless you. You, Jesus. I'm like, I just wrote a Spike. No, you're my savior. Oh, okay. I'm going to keep on doing whatever I do, and occasionally Spike fic. You're our savior. All right. So yeah, Spike, yay.
Spike.
Hey,
Anyway.
Spike fans, good on you. Good on you for fighting the good fight.
Gross. Anyway.
Barcast, yay or nay?
Yay! Having a good time.
Yay!
So you guys are doing the good. Other people who like Spike are fighting the good fight, and let's get horse words out there. Let's keep on getting it out there, and
Raptor ponies, yay or nay?
Raptor ponies.
Yes, like said image right here.
Yay or nay?
I'll go with. Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah, but Trixie is fabulous, so that was maybe unfair, but still. Yeah, I'm gonna go with yay. You know what? No, let's. We're done with ponies. It's My Little Raptor now. I mean, let's let season 4 conclude. Yeah. My Little Raptor, Generation 1. Next time.
All right. And finally, would you recommend watching MLP to those of us that don't?
I like the entire planet.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go with yes. Everyone, presidents, world leaders, just watch My Little Pony. And if you just like, did I waste my time? Maybe you shouldn't be a world leader because it's about tolerance and love and happiness. And you know what? Yeah, everyone needs to at least try ponies and at least accept that it's a thing. And if you can't accept this thing, we should shoot you to the moon for 1,000 years. Yeah, I don't think we have magic, so good luck up there for 1,000 years.
Right.
We have a 10-minute warning. So we're going to do our best to finish as many questions as possible, guys, but we might run out of time. We might have to go pretty quick off of some of these, but 10-minute warning. Let's go.
All right. Which house in Small Horse Town is best house and why?
I'm going to go with either Fluttershy's Castle. Yeah, I'm sure some people will. Castle because it's an effing castle. Come on, everyone. Or I'm going to go with Button's house, but how I have it written with also like Love Tap Button's mom, Button, their family, Gibson, Chip, and also the Dazzlings, because it's seen improvements, and that's just it's a bigger house than everyone, and it's awesome, and it's super fun, and probably annoying, but great.
Wonderful. Now you own that house. Would you change anything about it?
No, because it's it's the ideal house as envisioned by a family and 3 psychopaths, including one turbo slut. So why would I?
All right. Which pony has best butt?
Sunset.
All
obviously, by virtue of being Sunset. No, you know what? No, I had seen the question. I had a better answer for Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie is best bud. I'm sorry, Sunset, but, cushion for the pushing.
All right. Is it wrong to call Cranky and Matilda asses?
The show has not indicated it, but maybe they're avoiding it for a reason. So I am willing to accept that that is a slur. And hate speech is not something we do in Ponyland. So watch the P's and Q's, my friends.
Yeah, watch your fucking language. Number 5. Spike, the local pyromaniac, tries to burn down your new home, but fails, to the newly installed anti-magical BS shield, now available for just $99 per month, or $19.99 per month. God, I can't read today. Describe in detail how you let him pay for the attempt to destroy your property.
We've all probably seen Spike at your service, so this could only end in disaster. I'm like, you're my new servant. So I'm going to try to help Spike find a better outlet for his emotions, maybe get a girlfriend, if not Rarity. I have a lovely OC that, seems to show interest in him, or Starlight. I don't know. He's got options besides starting fires, and he just needs to look beyond the immediate, kind of ignore him, leave him out of episode girls.
All right. Number 6. Pony with best butt is now in your living room, and wait.
Okay.
She is sitting on your favorite couch, totally destroying that comfy spot. What do?
I'm sure she's quite snuggleable, and we could share that spot.
All right. Number 7. Ariane, the eccentric Germain pony, comes into town and tries to expand the living space for her people. What do?
Germain.
I point out there's this place called Russia that has lots of open space, and she should try there and try to grab some of their excess space. I don't see why there's any reason why Nazi Pony would have any taking over Russia. Do you?
Probably not.
I guess.
All right. We got questions now from Kami Kakashi, who starts by asking, how much cuck would a cuck fuck cuck... Fuck. How much cuck would a cuck fuck...
All right, we're doing this.
How much cuck would a cuck fuck if a cuck fuck could fuck cuck? Yes!
Yeah, when you're reading from it. That's just... No, wait. That's one of life's greatest mysteries, isn't it? Are we just here as part of some cosmic accident, or is there a God that has a plan for us? And I don't have the line in front of me, so it's not.
Are we doing this again?
It's called a great joke, okay?
Anyway.
I like to think I'm quite good at them.
Lisa Claire now has questions. What are your predictions for Season 8?
We already did that, I thought.
Yeah,
we
we
did
did do that exact
We did.
one.
All right. What writing advice would you give?
9. Pick something you're passionate about and just start writing. And if you think you suck, or even if you don't think you suck, if it's the first time you're writing, go find someone who's written a little bit and listen to them and listen to their advice and try to improve yourself. You will hit a point where you will, I'm at a point where, I still improving my grammar. I make less mistakes, thankfully, but I still make them. There's just things I don't see. I am word blind to my own stuff. And I just think, you're probably not very good the first time. That doesn't mean you don't have good ideas. That means your story is not worth it. That just means that the first time you try, find someone who wants to help. Find someone who has more experience, who wants to help you get your vision out there, and make sure it's something you care about. That, you know, you have quite a lot of it to it, because the best help you're going to get is just going out there, putting it in front of everyone, and hopefully getting feedback. So, you know, just follow your dreams, and don't be afraid to fall on your face a few times, and just, you know, get better. Get good scrub.
Yes,
get good scrub.
I was hoping you would say it. Anyway.
I would totally toast you if you were in the room right now.
All right.
I will clink something else in my... There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
So since we only have 3 minutes left, I'm going to try to grab one question from each person because we're not going to be able to get through all the questions today. I apologize. In the future, guys, let's try to keep the amount of questions down because these kind of situations happen sometimes. So,
Be courteous.
Random E284 asks, pineapple on pizza, yes, no?
Yes.
Fuck.
I'm sure I'm offending people. No, deal with it. You know, there's countries that have, like, banana on pizza.
We don't talk about that shit. We don't talk.
Culture is complicated, and you know what? You just gotta, you know, we have to deal with people who identify as Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 or whatever, and that's just a thing we have to deal with. I mean, you could accept that there's pineapple on pizza, people.
Next.
All right. Number 2. This is by Am I Dead Inside? Why are Celestia, Luna, and Cadence portrayed as weak-ass alicorns in the show?
Because the writers are fucktards, and I don't know. They don't know what to do with that. And, damn, I wish this wasn't one of the last questions, because I would fill up probably a half an hour on this. Characters, like, mysterious characters with a lot of power are kind of hard, but they have limits. It's just like, why doesn't the show do Discord all the time? Because Discord would solve all the problems, and the writers are actually dealing with the problem. If they have to explain where these people are or what they're doing all the time, they cop out. And yes, I'm calling out the professional writers from my, from my fan fiction writing, which is totally better, and you should follow.
Last but not least, we have a question from Tumer, who I'm going to end it on the right way. I know this probably isn't the question that Tumer would want asked, but... Oh, Tumer, sorry.
But what?
Would you...
Who's the question to? Who is the question to?
Justin's Dirty Whore, Morty Poo.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Is that a question?
No. The question is, would you a thing pwn?
Would I? Sure.
You know what a thing pwn is?
No.
Oh no! What have you just signed up for?
Is this sexual relations with a pony?
No.
Oh, this is already far less interesting. What?
Are you aware of John Carpenter's The Thing?
Are you aware of John Carpenter?
Would I the picture I'm looking?
Also this. That.
See, I don't know about so the first one's not quite bait, or the second one, like, there's some sexy Carpenter, The Thing vibes.
That's why
like,
it's called
are we
Thing
joining?
Pony.
Oh man, are we?
Thing
Okay. So I'm like joining in the big, like I'm becoming one of the big symbiosis, and like
yes,
we're gonna go on to join others in our wonderful, sexy union of hotness, and oh hell yes. Yeah, sign me up for the first one. The first picture is it's not quite there. It's just freaking out the people who, frankly, don't quite understand the glorious love that is the symbiosis pool, the slurry, as we like to call it. So I'm gonna go with an emphatic yes over here.
Yes, good. I'm proud of you. Very few people say yes. Anyway, Priest, you know what that means?
They don't know what they're talking about. They need to join the slurry, whether they like it or not.
So, Priest, you know what that means?
What does that mean?
And then you get to do the readout.
It's true! And, of course, the state of Kansas says that Spike sucks, but that has been this week's Barcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We topped out at about 25 today, last I saw, and we even got rated and survived. They like us. Stick around.
Thank you, Fiora.
Thank you, Fiora. We can't wait to have you in January. And, of course, next week we have the wonderful Aragon. Aragon's going to be joining us.
Oh my God, we're doing that again. Okay, I'll stop.
But for this week, Justice, thank you so much for coming on.
You know, it was a lot of fun. I was happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, of course, anytime.
Oh,
but
good.
Until next week, this has been a non-pencil.
I really just want to turn my own tonsils out for fun.
Flammenwerfer. Chat Penguin Lips.
No.
Of course, the wonderful Justice.
Ah!
That was a thing.
And I don't have any words.
I should just keep going.
Have a great week, everybody.
Oh God, it's happening again!